Let's go! In and Out 3D Adventure.
Rock and Stone, yeah!
After working on my voxel VR game for several months, I've concluded that the idea at its core is not feasible for a single person. It's worth a dedicated devlog series, which should come out soon-ish. So, I took a break to play Deep Rock Galactic. And one feature I liked in particular was rechargeable flares. You press a button, it throws a flare. You have 4 flares available and they get replenished over time. 30 seconds after being thrown, a flare gets dimmer and 20 seconds later, it fizzles out completely. Let's recreate that in Minecraft. Sounds like a short and easy mod to make. Yeah, it didn't go that smoothly. Let's make a basic flare. It's a projectile entity similar to arrows, snowballs, and XP bottles. This will bite me in the future. Without mods, Minecraft entities cannot emit light by themselves. Optifine had that functionality, but I couldn't make it work with my flares, and I cannot rely on people running Optifine anyway. So, a flare spawns an invisible light source block lifted from my previous mod. When the flare entity gets far enough away from the source, it destroys the old light source and spawns a new one, keeping the illusion that the flare itself emits light. While it looks a little bit choppy, it does the job fine, for a mod. However, because it's Minecraft, a new light source might take several ticks to get processed after being spawned, and because it gets spawned in the same tick as the old light gets deleted, it may result in short blackouts. On top of just looking ugly by itself, if the flare moves quick enough or gets into an edge case situation, it could result in rapidly flashing lights. Fixes were needed. One solution would be to make the light removal radius bigger and have potentially 2 active lights at once, but at high enough speeds would run into the same issue anyway, and at low speeds it would look weird. The actual solution is to put each light source on an independent despawn timer. If the flare moves fast enough, it leaves a short living trail of light. On top of preventing flashing lights, it just looks nicer and smoother. It opens new issues. If we would store every single light alongside its despawn timer in a table attached to the flare, what happens if the table gets lost somehow? Maybe a server crash or a bug in the code. We would also have to write extra logic to store the table in the save files. If something goes wrong, those light sources would get stuck. Instead, let's add the despawn counter to the light source block itself. Each tick, this counter gets increased by 1 by the block itself, and when it reaches a certain number, the light source deletes itself. The flare entity keeps track of the latest light source it created until it gets far enough away and resets its counter every tick. In case the data gets lost somehow and the counter resets to 0, the light source will just expire shortly one way or another. In fact, I don't even store this counter in its save files, because by default a light source lives for only a second. Here's a big brain idea. We don't really need light sources to exist on a server side. See, nobody would really use them for mob proofing because flares work for less than a minute. Having lights exist only on the client will not just save up on the server performance, but it will also keep us safe from any potential bugs of light sources replacing actual blocks instead of air. On top of it, if we would have bugs with light sources not getting deleted, rejoining the world, or just going far enough away would fix it. Also, an invisible server-side light source would trigger observers, which does indeed happen with the Searchlight mod. But if the light sources exist only on the client, they won't interact with observers or block update detectors. After the release, I've been asked if the entity itself needs to exist on a server. Turns out, it doesn't, and after some minor adjustment, I made it possible to install flares as a client-side only mod. The benefit of having it on a server now is that players will be able to see each other's flares. Let's make the flare bounce. I have to save this for the next video. Let's see if my performance on YouTube will be better if I would release a 5-minute video each week instead of spending a whole month on a 20-minute video. Yes, it takes that long, given that I have a job and my own video game to make. Let me know if you personally prefer shorter videos like this one, or maybe a longer video like the two on the end screen.